What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with part 3 of the Mansion Party Weekend, whatever the fuck you want to call it, series. So, hope you guys do enjoy this video. Drop a like if you do. And also, I want to apologize for not uploading the past couple days. Yeah, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you know why. If you don't, then why the fuck do you not follow me on Instagram? What are you doing, dude? You're kind of tweaking. But either way, that's your decision. So, let's dive right the fuck into it. So, where we left off last time, all right? We left off on Friday night, right? We got through Friday, or Saturday morning, I guess, is where we left off. So, Saturday morning rolls around, and this day is where things really hit the fan. You know, I feel like Friday was like, oh, okay, this is pretty lit. This is kind of a fun day. And then Saturday was like, all right, let's take everything we did Friday, but like cocaine it. You know, basically just amp it the fuck up, you know, just like fuck it up, you know? So on this particular day, I wake up and Chad is just asleep, all right? Chad is just asleep. He's knocked the fuck out. I'm talking like he didn't wake up all of Saturday, so he's not even a part of this story. And in this particular episode of this series, I'm not going to be using many names in this video because most of the named characters were like hungover asleep all day. I was the only one who managed to make it out of the trenches at this point, you know? So, either way, on this particular day, I wake up, Uber driver's there again. Now, once again, as I mentioned in the last part of this series, no one really knew when he got there or how he got there every single morning, but he was there all right. Like, he didn't spend the night, but like he'd be there before anybody woke up. So like I don't know what his schedule was, what his time frame of sleep was, but wasn't much. But either way, so this particular morning I wake up, Uber driver's there. It's like maybe 11 and I'm feeling like shit. I'm not going to lie. I was feeling very, very cooked. I kind of felt like I don't really know how to put it. You know when like you get really, really high and you get the munchies, right? And then you eat, and then you sober up, and you're like, oh, I ate too much when I was really baked. So then you feel really full. Combine that with, like, having a cold. That's, like, kind of what I felt like. Like, I just felt like dog shit at this point. So I was like, all right, there's only one thing that can cure me at this point. Well, two things, actually. It's either going to be weed or a prostitute. And I can't get a hooker at 11 a.m., so I'm going to need weed. And, of course, we had plenty. So on this particular day, we decided, I don't know why I keep saying that, but, we decided that we were going to get right to it. I start rolling up a blunt almost as soon as I wake up. I got Uber driver also rolling a blunt. We got Chad passed the fuck out, so he's completely out of the question. And, we still had a lot of weed to get through, and we only had this day and the next day to get through it all because we flew out pretty early Monday morning, and we still had probably a good, I want to say maybe like 2.5 ounces left. So we were going to have some real smoking to do in the coming days. So, we're just sitting there chiefing blunts. Me and Uber driver, eventually we finish rolling up. We go out back. We start smoking. It's a hoot and a holler. It's a good time. And, most of the other people in the house are at the event. They're at PAX East. So there weren't a ton of people home at this particular point. Saturday was like the big day for PAX, which translated into it was the big night for partying. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But during the daytime, there's only maybe 3 or 4 of us at the house in total. So, or 4 or 5, I guess. But somewhere in that ballpark. I don't fucking know. Suck me. But either way, so we're sitting there all day and everyone's just kind of smoking weed and like casual day drinking as if it's not a problem. And, I'm totally okay with that. So I was partaking, I was smoking, I was day drinking, it was just a hoot and a holler, but I wasn't really going hard. It was just like a smooth drink, just enough to get me buzzed throughout the day, a couple beers, set it down, take a break, couple more beers, set it down, yada, yada. You know what the fuck I'm on. So either way, as the day progresses, I'm kind of maintaining my buzz, maintaining, my baked levels, I guess you could say. And I was told prior that this night was going to be a banger, but I wasn't really expecting the level of banger that occurred. So basically how this kind of started, right? This party on Saturday night, because I wasn't really expecting this. Basically everyone who was staying with us came home from the event. And then they just had people with them. like more people were gradually coming and, arriving throughout the night, Ubering or whatever the fuck they were doing to get here. But, the original, like, maybe 5 or 6 people from the house who had gone to the event had brought back another, like, 10 or 15 people. And there was probably another, like, 30 or 40 more who showed up in total. Like, I don't really know the exact numbers because I was really fucked up. But there was a lot of fucking people, right? And it was just all, for the most part, like, YouTubers and motherfuckers who I'd, like, maybe seen on Twitter and shit. Just, like, people who I'd, like, kind of been familiar with, but, like, I didn't know personally. It's just like, oh, I kind of know who that guy is, but it was kind of cool. But either way, so, they start bringing people back. I'm just kind of chilling out, still figuring out what the fuck I'm even going to do with myself, because I'm already feeling good enough. Like, I'm pretty content with how fucked up I am, but it's like 5 p.m., and I know that the night has not even begun yet. I'm about to unleash the Kraken tonight. I told myself that if I am not fucking a hooker this particular night, or, a regular girl would do, but a hooker would be preferable, because then you, like, it's just easier. So, either way, I was busting a nut this night, all right? So that was my game plan, at least. Didn't happen. But either way, so, people start funneling in. It starts getting later and later. Drinks start coming out. I'm smoking. I'm still chiefing with the Uber driver and a couple other people. And, to my surprise, not many people there really smoked. Like, there was a couple guys who I met who were, I'd never met before. And, they took a couple hits of the blunt, but no one was really chiefing like that. So I was like, what the fuck? And it made me realize that YouTubers are a bunch of alcoholics. So if you guys are ever curious about what the personal lives of your favorite YouTuber is, there's like an 80% chance that they're probably an alcoholic, because wow, YouTubers drink a lot of fucking liquor, dude. Holy shit. But either way, so, as the night's progressing, I'm smoking weed with the Uber driver. Chad is still passed out. Like, I'm not kidding. This guy literally did not get out of bed all day long. And, I'm just kind of trying to figure out what the fuck to do with myself, because I'm like, okay, I could go take shots, or I could go take Jager bombs, fuck shots. I could smoke more blunts. I could get in the hot tub and smoke more blunts, or I could get in the hot tub and take Jager bombs. Or, I could find a mystery option and just do that. So what I ended up doing was, maybe around like 8 or 8:30, after I'd probably chain smoked a good 3 or 4 blunts with the Uber driver and a couple other dudes who were in the vicinity, I went downstairs and we started taking some Jager bombs. Now, throughout this entire evening, I'd still maintain my buzz. I wasn't like hammered, but I drank just enough where I wouldn't be sobered up, So after the Jager bomb, shit really just hit the fan. And, there was a critical issue on this particular night where, as we were all taking Jager bombs in rounds, and there was a lot of people down there in the basement because they had the dance floor attached to the bar, so there was a good like 20 people standing at the bar alone, and it wasn't like big enough to handle 20 people, but 20 motherfuckers still stood there anyways. And as the night progressed and people were down in their Jager bombs, motherfuckers weren't finishing them. Okay? I'm looking in these cups. There was like 4 cups with like half a Jager bomb in them. It's like, don't ask for a drink if you're not going to kill it. That's fucked up. You can't do that shit. That's a waste of liquid. You know how many African kids would love to get sauced off their fucking dicks on Jager, but they can't because you're whoring it and wasting it? A lot of them. I guarantee a lot of them. Some African warlords would love a good half gallon of Jager, but you fucked it up. But either way, not the point. So, back on topic here, I'm starting to notice that motherfuckers aren't finishing their Jager bombs, and I'm just downing these back to back. It got to the point where the first couple were like, oh, that's kind of strong. But it got to the point where, when you get really drunk, right? And alcohol starts to not really have that kick to it anymore, and it just goes down real smooth. And then someone asks you to start pouring the drinks, and because it's going down so smooth for you, you imagine that everybody else feels it the same way, so you just pour these fucking strong-ass Hulk drinks. That's what I was doing. Eventually, my responsibility came along where I had to start pouring the Jager bombs, and I was whipping up these fucking concoctions, dude. This was some Skyrim ass shit in these fucking solo cups, dude. I'm talking like maybe like 1/8 Red Bull and 7/8 Jager. Like, Red Bull was not a concept to me at this point. If it didn't have an alcoholic content, it wasn't drinkable in my book at this point in time. And I stayed down in the basement for the majority of the night until maybe 1 or 2 a.m. I spent a good like 3 or 4 hours just getting drunker and drunker and just hanging out, meeting new people, talking to people. Nothing like super crazy went down. It was just a really kind of casual, hey, we're in a big fucking mansion. Let's get really fucked up and talk. That's kind of like what it was. So, I'm getting really fucked up and I'm doing the talking, I'll tell you that. And eventually I go back upstairs later in the night because Uber driver comes and gets me. I believe it was him. And he's like, yo, you want to smoke a blunt? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Yep, let's smoke a blunt. So we go back upstairs. And we like to sit by the hot tub. Pretty much the smoking area for anybody who wanted to hit the blunts was in the hot tub room because day one, I started smoking my weed in there. And since I was one of the only like real consistent smokers in the house, it became like the spot. If you want the blunt when the party's going on, pool room, they got the blunts up there. So I'm sitting down. They got this fireplace in the corner of the pool room, too, and it's super nice. We're sitting by the fireplace, windows open to air it out from the, steam from the hot tub going because we had it warmed up all night. And, there's a couple young ladies in the hot tub who I'm not going to name. And, there was, like, one gentleman in the hot tub and then, like, 3 ladies in there. But, I'm not going to... that's going to give it away, so I'm not going to say anything here. Forget I said that part. That's going to give it away. But it was bad. But either way, forget that part. So, anyways, we're sitting there. There's a couple people sitting in the hot tub. They're kind of like conversating, but like really loudly so we can hear them. The Uber driver and I, as we're smoking. But like, it's one of those conversations where like it's an open conversation, but like you don't know if you should step in. Like you could tell, like, yeah, we could probably just start talking and that'd be chill. But like at the same time, it's like, no. I don't really want to do that. So it was kind of awkward because, like, I don't know. We just kept, like, the 2 different groups just kept looking over at each other. And then, like, whenever we made eye contact, either, like, me and someone over there, like the Uber driver and someone over there, they just look away. But, like, we never said anything to each other. It was the most uncomfortable shit ever. So either way, I'm getting drunker or I'm getting higher and higher at this point. I was already as drunk as can fucking be. And by the time we finished smoking a couple blunts, we had I think we grabbed a pack of Russian cream backwoods. We were lucky enough to find them in a smoke shop up there. And we also had, what were they? They were the, those little cardboard boxes of Swishers you can buy that are individually wrapped. We had a bunch of those because for some reason the gas station didn't sell normal 2 packs of Swishers or any kind of blunts, so we had to settle. But either way, we're smoking a couple of those. We're getting real nice and sheathed, and by the time we're done smoking, it's maybe 1:30 or 2 a.m. So I figure, okay, what the fuck, what do I do at this point? I'm really fucked up. And I didn't even get to fuck a whore tonight, So I'm talking to the Uber driver. I'm like, Uber driver, listen, bro, do you know any good, clubs around here? Where can I find a hooker, Because I'm being for real right now. I'm not saying this for, comedy. I genuinely would have spent money on a hooker at this point. Because, listen, I'm 19 years old with a quarter pound of weed, infinite alcohol, in a mansion with a hot tub. Why would I not want to dog the fuck out of a prostitute at that point? What do I have to lose, dude? Nothing. Fuck yeah, dude. That's in my best interest at that point in time. So Uber driver's like, oh yeah, I actually know a guy who mentioned something to me about something like that a couple weeks ago. Let me hit him up. So I was like, all right, well, if this Uber driver finds me a hooker, this is going to be the best thing of all time. And unfortunately, he didn't. He was not able to obtain a prostitute. What the fuck? Okay, I had to pause it because my dog was fucking barking. God damn it. But either way, so, at this particular point, I'm thinking if this Uber driver can get me a hooker, that's fucking amazing. And sadly, he didn't come through. But my hopes were still up. In the back of my mind, the only thing that I can think of is just, wow, a hooker. That's great. But, as the night progressed and I was waiting and waiting, I figured, this probably isn't going to happen at this point. And it got to 3 a.m. People started leaving. I was really fucked up. I went downstairs and I partook in the final couple rounds of Jager bombs before people started going back to their hotels and shit. And, I was just kind of trying to meet a bunch of people before they left just for the fuck of it. And I did, it was pretty cool. A lot of cool dudes there, a lot of cool ladies there, a lot of cool people, but a lot of drunk people as well. But either way, I partook in the last couple rounds of Jager bombs. I stayed true to my calling. And, as people left, I was kind of cleaning up downstairs and Let me fucking tell you. I mentioned earlier that people don't finish the Jaeger bombs, and I'm not kidding, okay? It's fucked up, man, okay? There was, as I was cleaning up, the entire bar, there was like not one spot on the counter that wasn't covered in either a solo cup or a bottle of Jaeger. And out of all the solo cups on that bar, I'd say maybe a quarter of them had at least like a third of the Jaeger bomb left in it. So that's fucked up. And that means a quarter of the people there are inconsiderate bastards. So that's a terrible look on you if you're one of those people. So change that shit. But either way, after I finished kind of like half-assed drunken cleaning, which wasn't really cleaning at all. I think I spilled more than I cleaned. I ended up laying down in the movie theater in my classic little recliner seat that I'd kind of reserved for myself and knocking the fuck out. I'm talking I slumped. I don't know where Uber driver went after this. I don't know if he went home or what. I never found out. I still to this day don't know. But let me tell you right fucking now, I got the best sleep of my life. I slept like a baby. I don't know what it was, but oh my God, I must have struck the perfect balance of fucking sauce and a weed in my system to just knock me unconscious perfectly. I mean, this sleep was memorable, very vividly memorable. That's how good it was. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.